I'm excited. So yeah, a lot to get into. Mini camps, OTAs are beginning for teams, Cowboys, Eagles. But before we get into that, I mean, I think we have to talk about the big elephant in the room who's on one of your least favorite teams, but probably not for long. Julio Jones.
Yeah, the elephant in the room is Shannon Sharpe's cell phone.
Yeah.
Because he is creating a lot of problems. That was wild. That was a wild moment. Hold on, let's start here. I have a question for you. Did you think that was staged?
Yes, 100% done.
Okay. Really?
Yes.
I thought
Shannon, they talked earlier in the day. That's exactly why at the end he said, "Thanks for calling me back, Neff." They already talked, even though he called him. Anything with Skip Bayless is a sham. Smoke and mirrors.
I can't disagree with that.
Yes.
I did not think it was just because of how awkward the phone conversation was. I really don't think he was being taped. He did not realize that he was being taped. And a lot of people were like, oh, well, obviously it was staged because he would know that Shannon is on Undisputed every morning. I have no clue what time Undisputed is on. And I don't think Julio Jones, who probably wakes up as a millionaire and trains during the offseason, probably knows or cares what time Undisputed is on.
Yeah, you're probably right on that, but at the same, I don't know. I mean, maybe Shannon Sharpe's stupid enough to do something like that. I feel like that's like FCC guidelines you can get in trouble with. I don't know.
It just seems like, yeah. The only thing I was thinking,
it did exactly what Julio wanted it to do. It is stirring up all this shit. He already wanted to be out. I don't know.
But I think they already, they already knew that it was going to come out eventually. I will say, though, how Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, how salty do you think they were that Shannon Sharpe just called Julio out of the blue? And on their television show, he was like, yeah, I'm out of there. Like, how mad do you think they were?
I mean, I think right now it's definitely Ian who's more pissed because Adam got the Aaron Rodgers scoop, and the more Aaron Rodgers talks, it seemed like his scoop was spot on, that he dropped the bombshell on draft night. And Ian got suspended this past year during the wasn't that during the season he got suspended? Can you imagine how just unbelievable that must have been for him to just be shut down for 2 weeks?
That's like when Woj had to take a 2 week because he told the senator to screw himself. Honestly, like I feel like you're getting suspended when you do that. So
yeah, maybe he was going on vacation.
He was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, and I don't care if I get suspended. But Ian Rappaport, that was like the middle of the season, so he was probably really pissed off. And then the poor Falcons intern who probably makes entry-level salary, who had to tweet out a blog as if they were www.thebrandedsports.com from the Falcons page, being like, Julio said on a TV show that he doesn't want to be here anymore.
Oops.
That poor guy.
I know.
Woman. I don't know.
Or I don't even know if man, woman, whatever they want to be. The intern.
The intern, whatever entry level 24-year-old out of school had to
imagine if it was
Arthur
Blank. Arthur Blank did it himself. Just like went down to his back cave.
That guy doesn't know that they have a blog. No chance.
That guy doesn't know anything. He just knows how to pump fake crowd noise into a stadium.
Yes.
Louder.
Nice suits.
Louder. I can't hear. Maybe that's why. Maybe it wasn't a competitive advantage. He just couldn't hear. So he just kept saying louder.
Yeah. It was until it was loud enough for him. It was already too loud for everybody else.
Yes. Can't hear it.
So
all right.
The other thing that he says on the show. Oh, you're shaking your head. Oh, no.
Why? Yeah.
He doesn't want to go to the Cowboys. And it was the way he said it that I liked it.
He was literally just wearing a Cowboys sweatshirt that seemed very – yeah, but no, I didn't like it. I don't want Julio Jones on the Cowboys. Cowboys don't need Julio Jones for his, to play 8 games, 600 yards, and 1 touchdown. Okay, it just seemed this was – him wearing the sweatshirt and taking a picture of a fan, like that was the beginning, and it was just very fake to me.
Your fan base and their shiny new toys just always want something new.
No, I don't want
Can't be
any part of
satisfied
it.
with what you have.
Give me Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Feuco. I'm
Yes,
good
but
on
you're
Julio Jones.
reasonable, and you have to assume that
Yeah.
95% of people will be unreasonable.
Oh yeah. I not tweet this past week that I hate my fan base? Like
Yes.
I find that tweet, Vince. I hate them. I hate all of you, except for the ones that listen and love me. I love you.
I was about to say, could we put a little asterisk? Except for the people who take solace and listen to the show every week.
Somebody tweeted me back and said the worst part about being a Cowboys fan is not winning a Super Bowl for the last 25 years. It's other Cowboys fans. And I was like, yep, that's it.
No, it's definitely the Super Bowl thing.
I've seen 3 in my life. I'm good right now.
Oh my God. Fine. It's much more fun when you're talking to a 25-year-old Cowboys fan because they've never seen anything.
Yes.
Anybody our age has never seen a damn thing. Literally never been a conference championship. But I'm like you, like, okay, Julio and the Cowboys, how does that make sense? What would they give up for a team who still needs to rebuild their defense and they already have Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup? Like,
yep.
Yeah, it would be fun, but why would that make sense? Where's the logic in making that move? Aside from him having that hoodie on was the only thing.
It makes no sense. None. Zero.
I
don't want that contract. The Cowboys don't like, yes, they made the trade for Amari Cooper, and that was basically their first round draft pick that year. But they don't play big money in free agency, and they usually don't do trades. It's just that's not what they do now. We know their philosophy, and that's not it. They're trying to shed salary right now. Do you
think that Cowboys fans would even be this excited or hype or wanting him if it weren't for the picture? Like if it wasn't, if there was no picture and there was just that interview with Shannon Sharpe, I'm sorry, that phone interview, quote unquote, where he says, I want out of Atlanta. Do you think fans would even want him?
Nope. Okay. Some may, yes, but it wouldn't even like have crossed my mind for a half a second.
Well, I guess like every fan base would be like, oh, you know, and Vince is pulling up the picture of him right now in the Dallas Cowboys hoodie.
I love this too. This idiot fan wearing a Cowboys jersey. It's clearly a sweatshirt.
Yeah. Who wears a jersey in public unless you're going to a game?
Yeah, and I don't think an actual NFL player is going to wear somebody else's jersey.
I would love to know why Dick Mountain is trending. Don't know what that is related to, but it popped up with the picture.
No,
and it's in
idea.
Baseball in MLB.
Oh, is that a player?
It's a pitcher, and his name is Dick Mountain.
Dick Mountain. What a
wow!
Dude.
How did we not know about that?
Yeah, Dick Mountain has been hard on the Royals tonight.
He has 10 strikeouts. He's 41 plus years old.
No. I think he has 13 strikeouts. Go up. Yeah, well, 12th and 13th.
12th and 13th. I read the tweet that said only on 10Ks. And that is, what was your former baseball podcast?
Crowding the Plate.
Crowding the Plate minute here on Birds vs. Boys.
Vince, text the branding group that someone needs to tweet about Dick Mountain immediately, please. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, that right there, that's an idiot Cowboys fan that doesn't know the difference between a jersey and a sweatshirt. Surprised he even knew it was Julio Jones, to be honest with you. But I mean, Julio's been training in the Dallas area, right? He's been training with Derrick Henry. I think Amari Cooper a little bit. He probably was like, yo, Coop, I need a sweatshirt or something. And he probably just like had that in his truck.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got
also a lot of Bama guys.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, Trayvon Diggs, Julio went to Alabama. It's definitely like, I got the sweatshirt and I'm wearing it because I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. So
because we as like 6'1" white guys who didn't sniff the NFL passionately care. Like you can't wear. Okay, well,
all of us 6'1" white guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. But listen, I elevated you guys up. You could have just said you should have been on a don't ask, don't tell policy.
5'7".
Not said anything and let me go with it. And just came along for the ride. But we're like passionate as fans. we care about that stuff. Like, oh, you can't be caught in another team's colors. I guarantee you that a wide receiver for the Falcons does not care about stupid stuff like that.
Not at all. Like fans prove their loserness so much all the time. And play, like, can you imagine being a player? Like, yeah, they're like, we're the best fans in the world, and this and that, and they do. And I think fans energize teams, and they do love. But at the same time, they sit on the plane after like a road win, and they're flying home, and they're like, those fucking dudes are such jerk offs. Like talking about that way.
Are we as fans, or do we just have a ton of losery habits that players don't care about at this point?
Absolutely, fans are losers.
Really puts into perspective just how little we actually matter. We're like little stars in the solar system.
Like, imagine being like the license plate guy or like the big fucking whistle guy in New Orleans. Like, can you imagine how much your life must stink?
Or like if you paint your face.
Yeah, like all that.
For a
like,
game.
Like I go to games and I pre-COVID and I enjoy it, and I'll wear like a hoodie and maybe a hat and drink a beer. But like, yeah, or like the Raiders or no, the worst is the pig women thing in Washington. I don't know if they're allowed to do that now. Or you don't have to look at me. It's a real thing.
I didn't know where you were going at first, and then I forgot about that.
I forget what they're called, like the oink people or something. They wear the noses. They get dressed up in dresses. Like, what are we doing? It's a football game.
That's one of those, in 10 years, they're going to take that out of context, not take any of what we just said about different fans and how they dress up, and it's just going to be you saying pig women, and we're going to be canceled. And we're like, oh, that Birds vs. Force, they should lose all their sponsorships.
All right, Vince,
and we'll have to put out some half-assed apology.
Bleep out the
Here they
are. Part. Yeah. What are they called? The Hogettes. They're probably not allowed to do that anymore, to be honest with you, in 2021.
Probably not. Especially because Washington literally doesn't have a mascot.
Maybe they should just be the Hogettes, the Washington Hogettes. Maybe that should be
there we go. We solved this year-long problem that Washington has had. They are now the Hogettes.
Like, can you imagine dressing up like that and going to a football game?
No.
Or like wearing full pads, like the Raider people? Like, what are we doing, guys?
Because if you lose, you look like an absolute moron. Even if you win, you probably still look like a moron.
Yes, fans are losers. Like the extreme fans.
Can we touch on our fan base for a second for the Eagles? Can we give ourselves a pat on the back? I think we've been pretty tame with the Julio Jones situation.
Very much so.
The only things I saw is I read an article about how the money would have to work to even do a deal. And then I saw an article that just mentioned that we were in the betting odds for Julio Jones. But nothing like we're getting Julio Jones. This is like Julio Jones is coming, anything like that.
Nope.
Maybe we are learning. We have turned a new leaf as fans. We're not chomping at the bit for some star on the market and just blindly assuming he'll be an Eagle based off wild internet theories. And maybe we have grown. Maybe we've learned from the past few years.
I mean, I need to give credit where credit is due, because I have not heard like anything. And usually it's like Aiden Powers could be on the move. He's going to be an Eagle. You don't even know anything about him. He's never played football, but he's coming to Philly.
Which only means one thing. Julio will be an Eagle. Because just when you thought you were out, they pull you back in. It would be so fitting for the one time that we don't get excited for a start that he actually ends up on the team. It's like when you say to yourself, oh, I'm not drinking tonight. I'm going to study. I'm going to get a good night's rest for work. And your buddies come over and you're like, all right, I'll have one beer. And then it turns out to be just booze fest. One of the best nights of your life. That's exactly where we're at. We've learned we're just going to stay low key, just have an easy night, get a good night's rest. Then all of a sudden we're going to go on a rager just when you thought we were out. And the last thing, think about it.
Would you have to bring Nick Saban in then to coach?
Yeah. I'd love to see the Philly media with Nick Saban because he wouldn't put up with any of the BS.
No, nothing.
He'd actually be if he ever went back to the NFL, this would be the perfect place because he would shut them up and no one would be able to do this nonsense that they do with these other coaches.
Yep. And it's just, I mean, it would be Philadelphia Crimson Tide if that happened.
I'm
Dickerson,
okay with that.
Yeah. After not drafting an Alabama player for 100 years, now they're just gonna be Alabama.
If you didn't go to LSU, Alabama, or Clemson, I don't care. Don't care. That's my status after this.
Wow.
I've learned the hard way. Just go get players from good schools and they'll probably be good.
Really shows your love for Micah Parsons and Penn State.
Penn State's a good school though.
Mm-hmm.
They're a top 10 school. They're always they're always like 5-6 in the playoffs. Not this year, they're awful, but recently, they played in the Rose Bowl. So one more thing on the Eagles and Julio. I shouldn't have said it that way. It's gonna look bad. But anyway, think about it. What if we had Julio Reagor and then we had Julio Jones, and Julio Jones could teach Julio Reagor, and then Julio Reagor becomes Julio Jones because they play together. How about that?
Enter the meme of the guy just sitting there with just everything around his face, and he's thinking.
Well, yeah, and the one where it's like the brain, and it's like it lights up a little bit, and it's like Jalen Reagor. Be like Julio Reagor looking like. Or Jalen Reagor looking like Julio Jones. Julio Jones playing for the Eagles. Julio Jones and Julio Reagor.
Julio Reagor together with the Slim Reaper.
Yeah, with Devontae Smith, it's just illuminated brain. Full capacity.
And Carson Wentz is gone.